right, welcome back. We already did part one with the 45 degree, we did that one already. Okay, this video is going to be about part two. We're going to do 30, 60, 90 triangles today. So if you're looking for the other video, which we already did, go back and find the other video. We're going to do 30, 60, 90s today. So just like 45, 90s, the 30, 60, 90 degree triangles are named by their angles. This is an angle. Angle, angle, angle. They're not named by their side lengths. So what happens is that, let's say I have, let's say I have a beautiful triangle that's a right triangle, and one of its little angles is 30 degrees. Okay, another one is 60, and obviously it's a right triangle, so the last one is 90. So what's going to happen, let me zoom in a little bit. Let's pretend, I don't want to put the 60 down here. Sorry, I did that. I want to put the 60 over here. I'm still talking about that angle. It was just in my way. There's the 60. Okay, let's say that that side at the bottom, the shortest side, is 1 unit. And this long side, the hypotenuse, is 2. It's twice as much. Okay, so if I use the Pythagorean theorem on that, that would mean that this is like my B. So here's my A, here's my B, and my C is 2. My hypotenuse is 2. So I would say 1 squared plus my B squared equals 2 squared. Well, 1 squared is 1. B squared is B squared. And 2 squared is 4. So I just subtract 1 from both sides, and I get that my B squared is 3. So in order to find B, I have to do square root. So I'm going to do square root, square root. I have plus minus, but I want the length, so I only care about the positive one. So my B is the square root of 3. Now, I can put a 1 in front of that. So what happens is that if my, oops, that was bad. If my shortest side is 1 and my hypotenuse is 2 times 1, if I know my shortest side, I can double it and make the hypotenuse, or I can multiply it by the square root of 3 and get my middle side. Okay, so they always occur in this ratio. So this is my short side, shortest. Okay, my long side is my hypotenuse. And my middle side is the short side times the square root of 3. So for example, if I have a beautiful right triangle that I know has a 30-degree angle and a 60-degree angle, and it's a right triangle, and I know that this side is 7, that's my short side, that's my S. So my hypotenuse has to be 7 times the square root of 3. And nope, I did that wrong. I'm sorry. It's 2 times 7. I don't know what I was thinking. It's 2 times 7, which is 14. And my middle side, my other leg, has to be 7 square root of 3. It always works like that. Okay, let's do some examples. Sorry that I botched it. Okay, so this is my hypotenuse. Okay, so my hypotenuse is 2 times my short side. So 2s equals 22. So if I divide both sides by 2, pow, pow, I know that my short side has to be 11. So looking at this, my short side is always opposite my smallest angle. So x is my s. So x is the short side. So if s is 11, x is 11. Okay, now once I have my short side, I can find my middle side. Because my middle side is just my short side times the square root of 3. Well, my s is 11, so my y equals 11 times the square root of 3. And I'm done. All right, let's look at B. Ew, okay, I don't like this one. All right, so x is my s, y is my 2s, and 15 is my s times the square root of 3 is 15. I'm sorry, it's the middle side, so it's the one with the root 3 in it. All right, so I have to divide both sides by root 3 to find my s. So divide by root 3, divide by root 3, cancel, and I get s equals 15 over root 3. Well, I can't leave a radical in the denominator like that. I've got to rationalize it. So I have to multiply top and bottom by root 3 over root 3. Okay, multiply across numerators and denominators. So my s equals 15 root 3 over 3. Now that can still be reduced. Geez Louise. 3 goes into 15 5 times. So that is 5 root 3. So my s is x. So I know that x is 5 root 3. Now this one's easier than the last one. I have to find y, which is just double my short side. So I just have to take this and multiply by 2, and I get y equals 10 root 3. All right, here we go. Ooh. All right, they're trying to trick you into saying that x is 18 because there's a root 3 here. Unfortunately, that is not the case. So the short side is the s. Okay, the hypotenuse is always double the short side, so this is 2s. Okay, and then my middle side, my long leg, is s times the square root of 3. So what I know is that 2s equals 18 root 3. So let's write that down. 2s equals 18 root 3. So to find s, I'll just divide by 2. Divide by 2, divide by 2, and I get s equals 9 root 3. So my s is this x short side, so x equals 9 root 3. Okay, now that I know s, I can just multiply s by this root 3. So I'll have 9 root 3 times this root 3. Well, if I do root 3 times root 3, I get a real 3. So that gives me a 9 times a 3, which is 27 for my y. Man, I'm glad we didn't do this all in one day. All right. Oh, thank God. Okay. So finally, across from my 30-degree angle, I know that that's my short side. This is the easiest thing if they give you the short side, and it's a whole number. It's the best. So my hypotenuse has to be 2 times my s. My long leg has to be my s times the square root of 3. So what is y? Well, 2 times 5, right? So y equals 10. That was easy. What about my x? X is the 5 times the square root of 3. X equals 5 root 3. Done. Okay. So this is my short side. Okay, this is my hypotenuse. Okay, so it is 2 times s. And this y equals s times the square root of 3. I'm going to say this, 2s equals my 24. We'll just do that. So if 2s is 24, I can divide both sides by 2, boom, boom, and I get s equals 12. So x equals 12. If I know that s is 12, I can just put in 12 for s right there too. So my y equals 12 square root of 3. Hopefully this is the end. I am hungry. All right. So here I can tell that I have a 30, 60, 90 because I have a 90 and I have a 60. And remember that we add up to 180. So 180 minus 60 minus 90 only leaves 30 degrees left. So this angle has to be 30. Okay. So across from my 30-degree angle is my short side. Okay, across from my 90-degree angle is my hypotenuse. Okay, my hypotenuse of a 30, 60, 90 is always double on my short side. So I can say that x is 2 times my s. My long leg, which is my middle side overall, is going to be 9 equals s times the square root of 3. So to get, let me write that farther over. 9 equals s square root of 3. So to get s alone, I just have to divide both sides by the square root of 3. Divide by root 3, divide by root 3. That cancels. So right now I've got that s equals 9 over root 3. Well, I can't leave that radical in the denominator. I must rationalize. So let me write root 3 over root 3 and multiply by 1. Multiply my numerators. That gives me 9 root 3. Multiply root 3 by root 3, and I get a regular 3. Okay, 9 is divisible by 3, so I get s equals 3 root 3. S is my y, so my y equals 3 root 3. Okay, my hypotenuse is double that. It's 2 times my s. So my x has to be 2 times 3 root 3, which is 6 root 3. So if I'm finding information first, generally it's easiest to find the short side first. Sometimes you have, I would always try to find the short side first if you can. It's the easiest to solve for, and the other sides are defined in relation to the short side. So find the short side first.